Alright, alright, alright. Alright, so I'm not exactly perfect here. I realize that. Let me turn my portable keyboard off. Alright, see, that's the problem with switching camera views all the time. Alright, let me turn this off. Can you all hear me all right? Alright, so this is a baby keyboard I use. Nice little wireless setup. Alright, so when do we deliver? We deliver tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. We'll leave here about 5 a.m. I really should try to be more professional. But hey, you know, what can I do? Okay. So here's a baby microphone. Where is it? Everybody hollered at me. Well, no, not really hollered. Everybody said they wanted a new wanted sound when we do the truck stop. So that's why we went and spent 20 bucks. Not bad. Dedicated cameras. Well, what do you mean by dedicated cameras? How many cameras do we need? Ah. All right, hey everybody, how you doing? All right, so this is just basically a test playground, playtime for y'all. I know other truckers have better videos than what we do, but they do most of their stuff pre-recorded, and they sit there with the editor and they get to add titles and graphics and sound and music and all this other stuff, which is great. But if you're going to broadcast live for 10 hours a day, what you're seeing is stuff happening live. We don't have time to edit before you guys see it. Usually there's about a 5-second delay when the signal is doing good. No tic-tac. We're having ibuprofen. Ibuprofen for dinner. So anyways, like I said, they do a lot of editing and whatever, and that's fine. That's their thing. I'd rather do it all live. You guys see the mistakes, you guys see the missed turns, all that other stuff. So I'm trying to read questions and talk to you guys at the same time. We are up to 350,000 miles. We will turn this truck in at about 500,000 miles. That's when the warranty runs out. Ibuprofen stew. No, that don't quite sound very good. So you like the haircut and the beard cut, huh? There really ain't much hair there. I don't know. Can you see? Is that enough light? I did get rid of all the beard and whatever. I just got the baby goatee now. It comes and goes. It just got to be a little bit too much. And I'll be honest with you. I like it like this a little bit more, maybe a little bit longer. The problem is, I don't know. I don't know if I'm jinxed with it or what my problem is. I am too cheap to spend 20 bucks to get my hair cut at a truck stop. What I've always done is buy the clippers and then just clipper all over the place until no more hair is left. You know, you got those little spacers that leave a little bit. And so when I do that, it's easy to trim the beard up and the goatee to, you know, a nice decent length and all that. The only problem is, every time I buy a $50 set of clippers, it lasts about 2 times. Then the teeth get jammed and the teeth don't cut right, and I'll get frustrated, or it won't cut and you end up just pulling your beard out. So then I throw it away and I'll buy another set, and it keeps going in that. I have never ever ever had a pair of hair clippers last longer than, say, 5 cuts. I don't know what the deal is, but it's always been that way. So when my last pair of clippers broke, I just let the beard grow. And that's the story behind why I let the beard go sometimes. Do we have the next trip? Yes, we have the next 2 trips. I'm trying to play catch up here. Let's see. Yeah, if I knew, or if anybody has a set of good trimmers that they could suggest to me, that would be good. Because apparently wall and all that stuff, after 4 or 5 times, it just doesn't cut very well at all. What's 27.555? I missed that one. I don't know what that is. Remington, I think I've tried that one too. Hey, M.A. Sudi. Neff, how y'all doing? Alright, so what do you guys want to talk about? This is your time. It's been a while since I gave you FaceTime and let you see my mug. So this is your time. What do you want to talk about? Howdy Les D. I don't know, you probably can't see me anymore now that it's dark, right? Did I try oiling the blades? Yes, of course. We got trucks fighting for parking spots. This truck holds 200 gallons. So it'd be two 100-gallon tanks. Boy, that trucker's mad. He just did a 180 in the parking lot. How does the new, okay, let's see. Will you be working over the Christmas? Yes, we will. I believe in working the holidays so that those truck drivers with families and kids and whatnot can go home and visit their family. So, Big Rig Sasquatch. Do I ever get tired of traveling? Well, let's jump up a question. J-Dog's asking me, how does the new distance record feel? Feels like any other day. Is the truck yours, or am I driving for a company? I drive for a company. A couple of times I looked into being an owner-operator, and I don't think it would be a good fit for me personally. It's obviously, being an owner-operator works for a lot of people, but I don't think it would be a good fit for me. Let's see. Do I have a nickname for the truck? Nah. Do I like shopping at Fisher Nut? It's okay. Do you use a Bunk diesel heater? I do have a Bunk heater in the truck. Yes, I do. And it does all right. I mean, when it's 30 degrees, 20 degrees, 10 degrees, or whatever, it'll keep you from running the truck. So it does pretty good. But when it gets stupidly cold and icy, I like keeping the truck running. For one, it keeps the fuel tank heaters going. You could blow the defrost and keep ice off your windshield so you don't have to scrape it in the morning. Besides Pilot, what's the other truck stop near there? I don't know of another truck stop near here. Where am I going? Go to the BigRigTravels.com website. We have the trip on a highway sign there. But to give you a short answer, we're delivering in Denver tomorrow morning. But anyways, yeah, go to the website. I know a lot of people think YouTube is the only thing for Big Rig Travels. And if you think that and you only watch us on YouTube, you're missing about half the information. The website has a trip map on there. Little blue truck icon moves around automatically. It faces one way. It always faces west, even if we're going east. So just think of it, if we're going eastbound, the blue truck's driving in reverse. There's no way that we can flip-flop back and forth. There's a speedometer on the website, and that gets updated every 60 seconds or so. There's a compass on there. There's little road icons that will tell you what interstates we're on. Those all change automatically. Progress bar, everything. Yay, got a hole in my shirt. I love these shirts, but I always get holes in them. Will I have Christmas off? No, we already answered that. When was the last time you had to submit to a Waystation inspection? What was it? A month ago? Up in South Dakota? So this year in Utah in February, what was it? January in Utah. Then in February of this year was Washington State. And then a month ago was South Dakota, I'm guessing. Have I been to Brush, Colorado? Yes, that's where we took our half-hour break. Howdy to Spain. How are you? What kind of stuff do I haul? I haul a little bit of everything. Most of it is food products. However, I've hauled electronics. I've hauled everything. I pull a reefer, you know, like I said, for food. But if we're not hauling food, you just turn the reefer off and then it becomes a dry trailer. So you can carry furniture and everything else. A couple weeks ago we hauled carpet and bath mats. We've hauled, let's see, shoes, pillows, styrofoam cups, plastic crates. Let's see, we hauled 500 wooden pallets and all sorts of good stuff. So how do they notify you of a Waystation inspection? Well, when we go through a Waystation and they call you in, you'll see the little red lights or notification that tells you to pull around. Howdy to Sweden, how are you? Howdy to France. What's the weirdest, strangest thing you've seen in your travels? That's a hard question to answer. Be more specific. Do you mean driving? Do you mean weather? Do you mean people? Do you mean vehicles? Give me something to go on. Linda, wave. I'm waving at Linda. You know, that's something, I know we have quite a few deaf folks, and I wish we could do closed captioning on these live videos, but we can't. Because YouTube doesn't allow it on live videos from the mobile device. If we broadcast through the laptop or in a studio, yes, there's programs where you can. But doing it through the phone like we do, there's no way that we can do closed captioning. And I hate that. How did I learn to drive a truck? I actually learned my first experience driving military missile trucks up in Minot, North Dakota. And then I went to school in Texas. Have I ever seen a UFO while driving? No, but I've seen some weird stuff in the sky. So, have I ever pulled a tank trailer? I have not, although I am licensed for it. Do I like Taster's Choice instant coffee? No. Instant coffee is like powdered milk. No way. Janet Martin, you're welcome. I hope people do enjoy the stuff. Howdy Joshua, how you doing? Bigfoot? No, I haven't seen Bigfoot. Ever seen a tornado while driving? I have. See, I don't know what to say when we do these fireside chats. It's like, well, what do I say? What do I do? I don't have all the scripts that everybody else has got. Howdy, Richard. How you doing? Was that snowstorm a couple years back? We go through snowstorms every once in a while. Last few years we've been lucky. Although back in February, March, April of this year up in Wisconsin, it was pretty hairy. I started out because I didn't think it would be bad, and then we took the back roads and it was just total ice. Total 10 miles an hour driving or less than that. It just, if I had known that, I would have never started out. But in the end, it did give us 716 viewers at the same time, so that was pretty nice. Am I cooking dinner tonight? I don't know. I might throw soup in the pot or something. Feeding any more squirrels cucumbers? No, I have not. Will it be a new truck when I hit 500,000? I don't know. It depends if they have a new truck available. It's just a matter of what do they have available. What is the best scenic route I've ever driven with your truck? Actually, look in the Montana, I think it's Montana videos. I think there's a video I titled the most scenic route in truck driving, something like that. I don't exactly remember where it was, but we recorded it because it was out in the middle of nowhere, 2-lane road, no signal to broadcast, of course, and I liked it. I like the back roads. The only problem is the back roads usually don't have enough towers to broadcast from. Whoa, I see a Jason. Trying to back up. Let's see. Greg Treadway remembers the drive in Wisconsin. Have I ever met a viewer, or has a viewer ever sniped you at a... Huh? No, I've never been sniped. Have I ever met a viewer at a truck stop and said hello? Absolutely. If you go to the website, click on Road Crew Gallery, there's a whole mess of them that have met me, including yesterday, the day before, what was it, Monday, we actually met 4 Road Crew members. I've not put their pictures up in the Road Crew Gallery yet, though. What happened to the Foreman grill? I used it, and it's starting to wear out quite a bit. I left that at home, but I have another sandwich maker that I'm trying out, which is similar, but has removable plates for better cleaning, and I'm testing the 2 out. See which one I like better. Do other truck drivers know your face behind BigRigTravels, or do you keep your secret identity to yourself? Nobody's ever, other than the road crew, no other truck drivers know I lied. My buddy Rich up in Utah, Brigham City, Utah, actually cornered me in a Flying J, because we were doing a broadcast stream and we were rolling through the truck stop and he was watching, and all of a sudden he sat there and he said he saw his truck on my camera. So he watched and followed me to the parking spot, and we met, and we're good friends. We don't talk all the time, but we are good friends. But he's the only one out of 10 years. He's the only truck driver that has ever bothered to say hi. These other YouTube truck drivers, none of them ever said hi, sent emails, nothing. I guess they look at me as their competition, I guess, or whatever, or who knows what, I don't know, but whatever, it is what it is. So yeah, I've met road crew. As far as other truck drivers, I don't think they really give a hoot. Let's see. Have I ever been driving to Santa Monica? Can't place Santa Monica, but I've been all up and down all around California. We deliver, Patrick, how you doing? We deliver at 6 a.m. tomorrow. We'll leave here at 5 a.m. Yes, Brigham City is where we did the Segway ride from the Love's truck stop to that little city pond. And I actually got a mail from the guy, and I didn't know it, but he moved, and where that pond was, he lives a couple of blocks away. So, let's see. Have ever defeated I-5? Well, yes, we've been up and down I-5 quite a bit. Any word on the next trip? Yes, we have 2 next trips. Which city has the baddest traffic? Every city's got bad traffic during rush hour. Obviously, Chicago, LA, New York, Miami, all of that. Can you guys even see me anymore, or is it like pitch black? I guess you could see me. I got this black bar right in the middle. I have to stick my head this way, I guess. I think the Brigham City is the last one. If you go to the website, click the video video vault, the last one will always be the first displayed. So I don't know. Ever been in Telluride, Colorado? I don't recall. We might have passed through it, but I don't know. What's the favorite part of the USA to drive through? Basically everywhere. The desert has its good stuff. The cities have their good stuff. Obviously, I like the mountains. Everywhere. To me, it's all nice and scenic. I do like the pine trees. All of that. So, could you explain a Jake brake? When we go down the mountains and we're heavy, at 67 miles an hour, the Jake brake will automatically activate on its lowest setting. That will help slow us down. However, if we're in the mountains, you can't be doing 67 going down, you know, a 6% grade at 80,000 pounds. Especially in some states, those 6% grades have a speed limit of 25, like out in Montana. Even though you see other trucks speeding, if the speed limit sign says trucks 25, we're going 25. I don't care what anybody else is doing. Then you set the Jake brake on full blast. That retards your engine and slows you down. Have I driven through the Big Dig tunnels in Boston? I don't remember. It's been a while since we've been up through Boston. What's the biggest elevation? Well, I don't know, whatever Eisenhower Tunnel is. That's what, 11,700 or something like that. I think that would be the biggest. Except for personally, I've been up at the top of Pikes Peak, and what is that, 14? I think, but that was without the truck. That was in a personal vehicle. How long did it take you to get used to the Autostick in the mountains? At first, I didn't think I would like the automatic truck. First, I thought, man, I'm officially a steering wheel holder if I have an automatic transmission. After I got over that and learned that I have the choice between using the transmission in both auto and manual and anywhere in between, I like it. I like it. It took some getting used to, and if that qualifies me as only a steering wheel holder, then so be it. I don't care. I'm not here to make other truckers happy, to be honest with you. There's always this battle between who's better, company drivers or owner-operators. And if you drive an automatic big rig, you're a steering wheel holder. You know, that don't bother me in the least. I don't care. I'm not out here to make any other truck drivers happy. They drive their truck, I drive my truck, end of the story. Just like going down the mountains. If the speed limit says 25, I'm going 25. And yes, the CB is always full of other truck drivers flying by, and they scream, you know, look at this guy, he's driving so slow, he's chicken to go down the interstate or down the highway mountain or whatever. I don't give a hoot. I don't play the games. They are in charge of their trucks. If they want to fly down the mountain at 100 miles an hour or 10 miles an hour, that's their business, that's their truck, that's all of their stuff. I don't care. I'm not out here to play games. Last I checked, it wasn't a race. So That's my soapbox for that. Let's see. 11/8/58 at the end of the Eisenhower tunnels. What do I think about hitchhikers? You don't really see them anymore. But we're not going to be picking any up. There you go, the Arkansas Segway. That's right, Mammoth Springs was the last one we did. We did that one, what, a month ago? Something like that? I forgot about that, yes. I enjoyed that. I had wanted to do that for quite a while. I enjoyed that one. There's a lot more that I would like to do with the Segway. And yes, other truck drivers make fun of me for having a dang Segway. I don't care. Like, I'm out living my life. If it makes them a big man or a better truck driver to make fun of another person doing what they want, I don't care, have at it. To me, it's we just don't play that game. I never have, never will. That's why we're pretty much a loner, I guess, because I have a very low tolerance for the BS, social stigma. You have to do what I think you should in order to fit in. Hogwash, I don't care. Let's see, what else do we got? Besides that, if they're making fun of me for having a Segway, I'm out enjoying the day, enjoying the park, getting out of the truck, while they're sitting in the driver's seat making fun of somebody else. Yeah, that really makes you a good truck driver. Yeah, CB. I have the CB on, but most of the time it's just garbage talk. And this is a family channel, family-friendly, kid-safe channel. And yes, I understand that in of itself. It's not popular with a lot of people. Yeah, same theory goes. I don't care. It just doesn't matter. I'm doing what I'm doing. And so I don't take part in all the CB radio Rambos, as we call them. Where is the Segway stowed? At the end of my bed is a little cubby hole, a little divot in the cubby hole. It sits perfect just there. The auto transmission, no, it has never failed. It has never gone into a different gear or nothing like that. So sure, you see a lot of my company trucks. You see a lot of company trucks all over the place. There you go, Richard. A loner, weirdo truck driver that doesn't fit in. A simple steering wheel holder. Yep. I get several thousand views on every video. So I must be doing something right. I'm trying to catch up on the chat. When I drive a car, do I feel like I miss the height of the cab view? Yes. Yes. When I rent a car, first thing you feel is all crunched up. You know, like here, I've got room everywhere. But in the car, the window's right here and the roof is right here. But the biggest problem is, as I get tangled up in my microphone cord, the biggest problem I have is I can overlook every single car on the interstate or on the city road because I'm up so high. But when I'm in a car, I can't see what's happening in front of me except for the car in front of me. And I don't like that. The other thing is, in a 72-foot long truck, I have to make my turns, right-hand turns, really wide. And my buddies have made fun of me because in a little rent-a-car, I'm still making that wide turn. So, yeah, I carry my maneuvers in a big truck down to the little truck, or down to little cars. Why does every U.S. truck have such a long bonnet? I don't know, it's just the way they're designed. The engine sits up front there. Why do you drive with the hazard lights on the interstate? That depends. If you're driving slow, like say we're climbing up a mountain and I'm going 20 miles an hour up Lookout Pass or whatever, we have to have our emergency flashers going, because that tells all the speeding cars that can do the speed limit that, hey, we're not moving as fast as they are. If there's hazards, like say traffic in front of you is stopping, accident, traffic jam, rush hour, whatever, it is always best to put your hazard lights on to let the trucks and cars behind you know that you're stopping or you're slowing way down. It's just a way to tell people, hey, something abnormal is going on. You know, a lot of places, it's state law that if you go below 40 miles an hour, you must have your flashers on. What's the worst or most dangerous driver? No, y'all are going too fast for me. What's the worst or dangerous driver you've seen? I've seen a lot of them. I've seen a lot of them. Remember, I sit taller than the cars and pickup trucks, so I could look right in. Half of the cars that I see are sitting there with a phone in their hand. And a lot of times when we pass another truck, you'll hear me mention on the broadcast, I'll look over and I'll see that truck driver with his tablet in his hand or on the steering wheel, or his phone in his hand. Seen several truck drivers coming down the mountains with their trailer tires on fire and not even slowing down because they're blind and they don't bother to use their mirrors. There's so many horrible ones. How do truck drivers get the snow off the top of their trailers? I really don't, because thankfully it hasn't happened that often. But yes, legally, a truck driver must get that snow off and can be ticketed. If a truck is going down the interstate and snow and ice is flying off at the top of his trailer, if that ice causes an accident or busts another car's windshield, guess what? That truck driver is liable. Like I said, I don't know how you do it unless you got a ladder up there and brushed it off. I don't know. Luckily, I've not run into that. But yes, that can be a problem. That's another reason not to tailgate truck drivers, especially if you see snow flying off the top. You got to do a little bit of taking care of yourself. If you see a truck driver driving, erratically, stay away. If you see ice flying off the top of his trailer, back off, stay away, help yourself. You gotta kind of watch out for yourself as well. What's the top speed of my truck? 65, unless I really mash it super hard, then I could reach 67. I don't know if this is a question or a statement. You have many flat tires. Well, every once in a while we'll get one. Let's see. How's your night going? My night's going okay. Still got the headache. Devil's Travels is saying, as an experienced traveler, is there a way to get from the Midwest anywhere to Arizona without climbing a steep road? Interstate 10 is pretty flat. I don't know, you might have to look at a topographical map. But off the top of my head, Interstate 10 is pretty flat. Going through New Mexico and whatnot. Let's see. By the way, if a truck driver is caught texting and driving, anybody want to take a guess what the fine is? The fine for a truck driver or any commercial vehicle driver texting or distracted driving is $2,750 for the driver and $11,000 fine for the truck driver's company. Yep. By the way, the website runs by itself. Meaning, I don't touch the cameras, I don't touch chat, I don't do any of that stuff. The compass, the speedometer, the GPS, all of that is based off of the GPS on the phone. The phone sends the information up every, I don't know, a couple of minutes or so. We have special scripting, custom scripting on the website that Hamster Marco designed for us. It takes my GPS data, interprets it, and then uses it or mashes it up into the speedometer and the progress bar and the map and all of that. And so all of that happens automatically. We don't touch a thing. And a lot of times I talk to you guys about stuff that I see or things that come to mind. It doesn't mean that I read chat. It just, like the arch, I know a lot of people like the arch. Or when I find out information about a trip, I know you guys want to know. So I just talk off the top of my head. Let's see. Do I honk if a car goes by and the kids ask me to? I've seen a lot of that, but I don't. Not because I'm mean, but if I go laying on the air horn, there might be a little old lady driving a car, you know, or a teenager on my right or something like that, and all of a sudden this big 18-wheeler honks the horn. It might scare them. They might veer off the road or slam on the brakes or whatever. So I don't do that because I don't want to scare somebody and cause an accident because I beeped the loud air horn. And I know a lot of people don't think of that, but I don't want to cause an accident by scaring the heck out of somebody, to be honest with you. That's why I don't do it. Now, I have, like say, Lazoid, earlier this year. He was on the side waving the flag, but he was by himself. Other traffic wasn't near me. So yeah, I laid on the air horn. That's okay, because like I said, nobody was around me. So Pineapple Fresh, how are you? Never seen you before. How do you get snow off the top of the truck? I thought we just answered that. Would I drive a European truck? Sure, I don't see no problem with that. Hello, Edgar, how you doing? I don't know. I'm trying to roll back up. And yes, Google has started charging us for that map. It costs about $50 to $70 a month. What age? Oh, man. What age can you be a truck driver? I think it's 23 in the U.S. However, our fabulous government wants to make it as low as 18. Me personally, I don't think most 18-year-olds can drive a car, much less an 80,000-pound truck driving down the highway. Just my opinion. Marshmallow Fluff story. I don't know what the Marshmallow Fluff story is. What's your favorite city to go to? All of them. Is there an easy way to get driver license for trucks in the U.S. without going to school for it? You've been driving 10 years before, timber and everything. Legally, you don't have to go to school, as far as I know. The only thing you have to do is go get your license. You have to take your written test. A lot of places will rent you an 18-wheeler for you to make your test on. If you could find a truck driver to give you all the training so that you can go and take your test and you pass your on-road test and you have your license, you have what's legally required to drive an 18-wheeler. Then you can, I don't know, most companies won't hire you unless you have so many years experience or whatever. Walmart won't hire you until you have 300,000 miles, all that stuff. But if you drive for another friend or whatever, then yeah, you can do that. As long as it's verifiable mileage, then you can go to another company and say, hey, I've driven for XYZ company or whatever. If you have a way to prove you covered those miles, you could eventually get in anywhere. What's the best dinner I've had in my years of driving? I love my steaks, a good steak, shrimp, mashed potato. I don't really remember anything. Yeah, Texas Canyon is steep coming out of Las Cruces. I don't think you could make a perfect trip where you didn't have any incline whatsoever. Does that come out of your pocket? Yes, absolutely. If a truck driver is given a citation for being overweight, for speeding, for failed inspection, or whatever the case may be, yes, the truck driver is responsible. And we get points for it and all that other stuff. Are there any independent truck stops left? Yes. Very few, and they get fewer every day, but yes, there still are a few out there. Do trucks have black boxes? I'm sure there is something similar to that. I do know that I could pull up my Qualcomm, and I think there's 16 parameters that are automatically transmitted to the company computers every minute or something like that. So my driver manager can look on my screen, tell what gear I'm in, tell if I have cruise control on or not, can tell how fast I'm going. you know, the whole 9 yards. So if all of this information is being transmitted, yeah, I'm sure there is something similar to a black box. I do think that's great. If you drive and behave like you're supposed to, then you don't have to worry about anything. When do I plan on getting a Samsung Note 8 or 9? I don't know. I always get asked that. I'm kind of hesitant to spend out another $1,000 when these phones are doing a halfway decent job. Remember, I have already this year spent $6,000, more than $7,000 worth of inventory for the store, sweatshirts and decals and whatever else. That's $7,000. We have changed servers twice in the last 6 months. We have boosted up the security coverage on the website and in our servers. So I've spent several thousand just on website related stuff. So maybe next year. There's only so much I can spend, you know. Broadcasting this cost about $600 a month, without including store stuff, you know, everything. Yeah, you guys can still see me. So it costs a pretty penny to run this. $600 a month to do all this live streaming. I've got a total of 3 lines dedicated to the website, 2 phones, a tablet, and of course the laptop and whatnot. And I got a lot of money tied up in this. Have I done a premiere on YouTube? I don't know what that's about. What's my name? My name's BigRigSteve. What's the worst customer you've ever had to deal with? When customers are, like, say, a shipper and they yell at me. I don't like being yelled at. When, say, a snowstorm delays me or mechanical failure delays me and I show up late for my appointment, I do everything I can. I'm going to stay legal and I'm going to stay safe, even if that means I'm late to a delivery. I will do everything in my power to make that delivery on time, but if something prevents me, what am I going to do? So some delivery folks will get mad and holler at you and put you down. I will be honest with you, I don't want to say the customer name because I don't want to get into no legal garbage. But one customer I delivered to several years ago, I pulled up and I was delivering plants for nursery. I show up and I bang on the back door where the loading docks are, bang on the door, and this person opens up the door and says, "What do you want?" And I said, "I'm here to make this delivery." Fine. And they shut the door. Don't say anything like "I'll be right back" or whatever. So I thought, okay, they are going to go get the forklift or whatever the case may be. So I start unloading stuff and I start putting stuff on the ground to get, you know, to sort them out for them. This guy came out and just, no, this girl came out on the forklift. She looked at me and she just said, "Stupid truck driver," and then drove her forklift back inside. Then the manager came out and said, "What are you doing?" Pulling the stuff off to help you put it on pallets. "We don't do that here. You're destroying the product. You're touching the product. You're not allowed to touch the product. It's plants in 5-gallon buckets." And he says, "Well, if you're going to ruin all this product, I'm going to just refuse it." And he did. It's like, What happened? It just blew me away. So I called my boss, and they rescheduled the delivery for the next morning. We got some pretty high officials involved on both sides. And in the morning, it was a different manager and whatnot. I got apologized to 100 times from 5 different people about the way the night crew treated me. But we don't put up with that. I don't know what a story on YouTube is. I guess I'll have to look into that. Can you route a trip without going to past any way stations? No. We're not driving all the way through the back roads to avoid a way station. I would like to do an Iowa 80 live stream as well. How often do I get to Miami? It's been many, many, many years. What is your name? BigRigSteve. What time do I get up and what time do I go to bed? It all depends on what the schedule is. Of course, tomorrow we'll probably get up at 4 a.m. Let's see, so I don't know, it just depends. States with worst roads, best roads, I don't know how to answer that. Indiana's got some pretty crummy roads. Michigan's got pretty crummy roads. Andre is complaining about 2 hours to wait to either load or unload. Wait till you show up at a shipper that takes 21 hours to load you. Then we can talk. And yes, several of them have done 17 hours, 21 hours, I don't know, a handful of 10 hours or 12 hours. Yeah, that doesn't impress me at all. Do I deliver in the morning? Yes, we do. Walt, how you doing? Where am I at now? I don't know. Hudson, Colorado. Do I spend Christmas on the roads? I do. No, we do not always get trips that have plenty of time scheduled. Sometimes I'll get a trip and find out that it should have been picked up 3 days ago. And of course we have to make up for it. I will do everything I can as long as we can do it safely and legally. So yeah, sometimes we do not have enough time to do it. How long does it take to unload a truck? I've been unloaded with a full truck in 45 minutes, and I've been 15 hours waiting to get unloaded. So that all just depends. Yorkshire, UK, how you doing? I luckily did not have to go around the California fires. Do I get recognized at truck stops? No, nobody knows. I don't think anybody cares. To be honest with you, nobody, but you know, I don't blame them. Other truck drivers don't know me, and I'm perfectly fine with that. My theory on that is, like my theory, because I always get asked, do I play American Truck Simulator? No, because if I'm driving a truck for 10, 12, 14 hours a day, or working around the truck for 14, 16 hours a day, the last thing I want to do is sit and watch the computer of somebody else driving. I've already done that every day for, you know. So other truck drivers, they're not going to want to watch me drive. They do it on their own all day long. So am I owner, operator, or company? I am a company man, and that's fine with me. How many miles do you normally drive a day? That all depends on the route. Really does. It depends on the weather and all this other stuff. How many years have I been a truck driver? Since 2006. Okay, we'll have to look at whatever. I thought we already answered. I think we're just getting repeat answers now. What age is the earliest you could become a truck driver? 23, but they're going to change it to 18 probably. Are you in the cab while they load or unload your truck? Most of the time, yes. That's when I get little side naps in. Does my company pay for tolls? Yes, they do. It's company truck. They pay for everything. How many miles do I have under my belt? Look on the website. There's a career mileage. Oh, I don't know. What is it? 1,520,000, something like that. What brought me to be a truck driver? I always wanted to work on airplanes. I always wanted to be a truck driver. I did multiple years wiring up private jets, and things changed. Got tired of doing that, so I decided to go truck driving. And actually, what we're doing right now, the BigRigTravels website, is a combination of my broadcasting, my love for broadcasting, radio and TV, my love for photography, my love for travel, my love for running a show. This is my own TV show, I guess you could call it. And so truck driving and BigRigTravels just fits together nicely. Do I have any favorite routes for scenery? They're all nice. I do like the Northwest. I do like the mountains. Arizona's nice. I like green. I like the pine trees around Flagstaff. I even like the back roads, the little small town back roads. Hey, we have 331 people watching. Do I ever chain up? No. That's another truck driver. that's another truck driving issue. Is if you chain up, you're a super trucker, macho trucker, blah blah blah. If it's that snowy, icy garbage out there that I have to chain up to keep my truck on the road, that means other cars and other truck drivers that don't know how to drive in the snow and ice are gonna potentially cause me trouble. I'm parking it. Those are parking chains to me. And if that makes me a wimpy truck driver, so be it. Because they can sit out there and chain up and play in the snow and the ice. I'll sit inside the truck and have coffee. That's all there is. All there is to that. Do I see tolls as a trucker tax? I don't know. Do cars see it as a car tax? Tax is a way of life, and as I was reading a news story tonight, California is throwing around the idea of taxing text messages sent on the phone. So yeah, the government's going to tax you to death no matter what you do. My company pays for that, so I let them deal with it. Do I own my own truck? No, it's a company truck. Have I ever traveled with a pet? Yeah, TK. TK the truck cat for numerous years. On the website you can find all sorts of pictures and the story as well. Do I see trains? Not at the exact moment, but we've actually done train racing on camera. So howdy, Texas woman, how are you doing? Have I traveled to Las Vegas before? Yes. With 1.5 million miles, we've been around. Let's see. Do I own my own truck? No. Is it easy to judge your load and conditions? Because truck's getting blown over. When you go across Wyoming, if it's too windy, will shut down the roads. They also have what's called a high profile restriction, or a high profile vehicles banned, or light loads. There's no there's no set limit. In other words, nobody says, okay, you got 20,000 pounds, that's the light load, 20,001 pounds, that's the heavy load. Because Mother Nature with the wind, you're not going to guess that. It could be 30-mile-an-hour winds, and you could be heavy enough for that. But then a big wind gust comes up to 50 miles an hour and tips you over. So you have to kind of use your head. Right now we weigh we have 15,500 pounds in the box. So we would not battle Wyoming winds if they said light winds restricted, or light vehicles restricted. We wouldn't play it. We would shut down. Because if you flip over, what's the first thing they're going to do is, you were told a light vehicle restriction was in effect and you went driving. So yeah, if it's that bad, we're going to pull over. And we have had to do that. I think we're getting silly questions now. Do I have to do the new e-log stuff? We have done e-logs for many years now. And I like it. We used to do paper logs. I like the e-logs. We'll have to save that big discussion for another day. I personally see nothing wrong with the e-logs. And everybody, my opinion, everybody complaining they can't make a living on e-logs, but you could make a living on paper logs. Something's wrong, because the rules and the time and the clocks and the limits are all exactly the same. So if you could make a living on paper, but you can't make a living if it's electronically stored based on the same hours and mileage and whatnot, something's wrong. Because it's exactly the same, it doesn't affect you whatsoever. Unless you're running comic books, which means several log books. If the miles and the time and everything else is exactly the same, what does it matter if you wrote it down on a piece of paper or if you wrote it down on a computer? There's no difference. And yes, I'm going to get hate mail from other truck drivers, but that's okay. Let's see. Hey, Jim. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. See, I stop chat when I read a question so I could like read it and answer it, and all of a sudden I see $10 from somebody, $25 from somebody, and $10 from somebody. Well, thank you. Jim gave me $10. Now I got to scroll up. Who else? Oh, dang it. Now I can't. Okay, Neff gave me $10. Woohoo, I appreciate it. Sarah George gave me $24, $24.99. Jim gave me $10. I appreciate that, y'all. That all goes right back to the website or buys me a steak dinner. Now I lost track of where I was. The Monopoly man gave me 10 euro coins. I appreciate that. I'd have no idea how to say your name, so you look like the Monopoly man, though. Well, the difference is in paper logs are in quarter-hour increments. Correct. And now you do it by the minute. So if you're fueling, like say if I'm putting fuel in the reefer only, you have to, as a minimum on paper logs, log 15 minutes for fuel. But digitally, e-logs, I hit fuel when I'm fueling. 9 minutes later, if that's what it takes, which it does, I hit off duty. So now I'm only using 9 minutes of my 70-hour clock instead of 15. So actually, you get more driving time electronically when it's like that. Say I go, I don't know, say it takes me 21 minutes to check into a shipper. The logs hold it as exactly that. If you're doing paper, you could lie and say it only took you 15 minutes. Or the other way, you rip yourself off if you do 30 minutes. So to me, electronically is a lot better. Just my opinion. And yes, I am allowed to have my opinion. It always amazes me how many people tell me I don't have a right to think like that. Excuse me? I have a right to think however I want to. Okay. I don't think I've done this much talking for you guys in ever, I don't think. Roger, you guys have a good night. I think I'm going to let you guys go too. I'm going to get some dinner and all that stuff. Plus, you can't even see me at all anymore, I don't think. We are going to try to give you more FaceTime daily. We're going to try that. But as you see, if you even touch the phone, it stops the stream. And a couple times I tried to flip the camera between forward and back facing, it always stops the stream. I don't know. We'll come up with something. We'll try to do more FaceTime for you guys, more live shots or whatever. We'll see what we can do. Anyways, I'm going to let you guys go. It's nighttime. The truck stop's pretty much full, so we won't broadcast anymore tonight. But now that I got the external microphone for you guys and it works, we will do some more truck stop activity with the microphone out on the mirror. All right, I appreciate you guys. You know I care about you. I appreciate every one of you. Excuse me. I'm gonna get a nap in. 6 o'clock. I hate to go to bed so early, but we'll leave here at 5 a.m. take care of the delivery, then run up and start the next trip. We have our next 2 trips lined up. We got a lot of going. This is the busiest time of the year. Holidays, Christmas shopping, Christmas parties. Of course, we just finished Turkey Day, all that stuff. After January, we'll slow way down, and maybe we'll have a chance to do more Segway rides and all that other good mess. All right, you guys have yourself a good night. I appreciate you. I love you. I would do a Facebook poke for you, but somebody else already has that. So we'll just give you a salute. I appreciate you guys. See y'all in the morning. Good night.